16 years and like 9 months.
Okay. So you were in for a while.
Yeah.
Why did you stay so long?
Well, I was going to retire, but then they came up with this early out retirement as people that are E7 and above, and I was getting these really stupid lieutenants, and I have to obey them because they're officers, and I'm an NCO.
Right.
And they don't listen to you; they think they know everything. They kept giving me these crappy dudes, so I said, I'm getting out. I'm done with this.
Okay. So why did you decide to join the military?
Well, I played football in high school, and I got a full paid scholarship to go to Portland State University, but I was getting married also, so I turned down the scholarship and joined the military because we needed money if I was going to have a family.
Right. Okay. And what all did you do in the Army?
Oh, God. I've got a dozen MOSs. I started out as I was a tanker, and that was the M60A3 tanks, so that was a 19 Echo. And then they got the M1s, the Abrams, so I had to get retrained on that and got my 19 Kilo. And then I decided I wanted to be a scout, so I got a 19 Delta MOS, which is Cavalry Scout. And that's what I retired at, but in the meantime, I picked up 76 Yankee, so I was a supply sergeant. I was the NBC NCO of 54 Bravo, 92 Bravo Intel officer. Let's see, what other? Got to kind of go through them and try to remember everything I did.
It's okay. It's a lot.
There's a lot of them. Well, I don't know. That's good enough.
That's
I
good
don't think anybody needs to know all my MOSs. Hey, nope, get back there. Good boy.
Okay. So,
Oh yeah, 77 Foxtrot, 88 Mike, transportation and fuel operator. Yeah,
did you ever see combat?
yeah, went to Iraq. That was my only combat.
Okay. And what year was that?
91. Actually, it was 90 to 92.
Okay. In Iraq.
Yep.
Okay.
Desert Storm. ODS, Operation Desert Storm.
Okay. And what were a couple of life lessons that you took away from military service?
Oh, basically, obedience, respect, being, on time or however you want to put that. Consistent, physical fitness training, and hey, get out of there. Trying to crawl over the backside because I can watch them do it here.
Yeah.
They're going to try to sneak around.
They're smart.
Yeah.
Except for the times when they're not.
Yeah. We got those times, trust me. Scout, because she just came out of heat. He's an idiot. And he's the smartest dog. I mean, he's really smart. But man, when she's in heat, he's a total idiot. Camaraderie is probably the biggest one, I think.
Camaraderie?
Camaraderie, yeah. Knowing, trusting your soldiers and understanding what their potentials are and their weaknesses and work things out.
What were the most challenging or difficult aspects about serving?
The opposite of camaraderie, the lieutenants, the people, just the idiots that were coming in at the time. It was hard to work with people that think they know everything, and they come in and they have like 1 year under their belt or 2 years, and 1 year of it is in school, and think they know everything, and they don't have any boots on ground experience. And some of them were pretty fun though, because we got to mess with them pretty bad. So we used to play jokes on them all the time and get them lost out in the desert and stuff.
Okay.
The hardest thing is, I think, the longer I was in, the more jobs that they would give you, like as a platoon sergeant, and being in the longest as an E7, I'd be like the acting first sergeant, and then it was just all the we had training meetings, and then we had staff meetings, So we'd have to fly all over to go to those, helicopters or whatever, vans or whatever. And that was, once a month for the staff meetings and pretty much once every other week for the training meetings. And then you got the people just want you to do meetings and show up to do something. And so you'd have to take a weekend off, or one of the times that you think that you had off, you're not like doing any operations or anything. You're just called in and said, hey, we need you here tomorrow. So, great.
So it sounds like
Time away from family. It was really hard with the family.
Oh, right.
Yeah. So when I got out, I got divorced at the same time.
Oh.
Yeah. After 17 years almost of marriage.
Let's see.
At least
Go ahead.
I said, at least you picked a good day to do it, huh?
Yeah, it's really nice
Really
out
nice,
today.
yeah.
Yeah. Did you go to folk festival?
I've been to it like 11 years in a row, and this is the first year I didn't go to the fireworks or the festival.
Oh, okay. Well,
Yeah. Well,
sure when you've seen it 11 times.
Yeah.
Especially 11 times in a row.
Yeah, and it's pretty much always the same. That's the hard thing.
Yeah, I was supposed to be working yesterday, and my body just said, nope.
Yeah,
So,
recovery.
Okay. And what were some of the best things about serving?
I loved combat marksmanship. I traveled all over and got some pretty special medals that I'm really proud of. That not awards like like achievement medals or anything like that. They're actually combat matches. They're big Olympic medals.
Okay.
And I earned my bronze, silver, and my gold. And so I'm a sharpshooter, sniper, and I do 3 different other weapons that when you're doing combat marksmanship, you got your 9mm, your M16A3 at that time, the M60 at that time, and then the sniper rifle, the M21 sniper rifle.
Okay.
So you put all those together, and that's how you get separate awards and points and everything for each type of weapon, but you also get trophies and stuff for combined arms.
Okay. So you were a pretty good shot then? Is that?
I was, yep. I would have to say I was. Not so much a pistol, but as long as I had a scope or open sights, I was pretty good. I wasn't really good at a pistol though. No, don't. Hey, baby, no. Baby, don't drink that yucky stuff. Should they let you get some water? I pulled you out of your cage.
So you mentioned, that the dogs. Oh, you can get her some water or something if you'd like.
Yeah, I let her out of her box and didn't give her any water. She just ran right out to the backyard here.
Thirsty girl.
Yeah, let me grab some for her.
Okay, yeah.
I'm sure they'd all want some.
The dogs kind of help you with your PTSD and your time serving.
Yep.
Would you mind talking a little bit about that?
Sure. Well, I think the best thing about what I'm doing is not just the pulling the dogs. It's getting up in the mountains, and I go to Thompson Park all the time. At least when my vehicle was running. So during the training season, I'm working them 3 times a week: Monday, Wednesday, and Friday. And that just gets you out, away from enclosed, to get you outside, outdoors, and in the nature rather than being stuck in a house. But it's good to be away from that. I'm not the type of guy that freaks out over fireworks or anything like that, or loud noises, or just certain things do set you back, certain things you might hear, but it just brings a memory back. And most of mine were pretty good because I was lucky enough to be, in Operation Desert Storm, where we were kicking ass basically, and yeah, we had a few soldiers that got hurt, but as far as my battalion, we had minor injuries, nothing major, so I didn't see a lot of nasty stuff, but I think you get used to that after a period of time too. But it's just that the dogs take your mind away, because they don't ever argue with you, and they're always right there, and they love you for no matter what, even if they do something wrong 1 minute, 5 minutes later, they're trying to suck up to you. I'm like a person that holds a grudge for a week or something.
Yeah.
But and I having so many dogs too, that makes a big difference. It just keeps me physically in shape, and it keeps me up in the woods, and I'll go like we'll go hiking and just explore all around. Thompson Park is huge. I don't know if a lot of people know that, but it's huge. There's trails everywhere out there. So we go and hit those trails up and do some just walking without any tires, without working them. Sometimes you get the tires on and work them, and it takes your mind off of everything else, you know?
Yeah.
It relieves you from anything.
So how did you, this is a little bit less related to your military service, but I feel like it's still relevant. How did you get into dog pulling?
Before I was even in the military back in the 70s, I seen a team of Huskies racing, and then of course I lived up in Alaska in the middle of nowhere with my dad. We built a log cabin and everything with just hand tools, only no power tools, no chainsaws or nothing. It was pretty dramatic. Anyway, so the Iditarod's a big thing in Alaska, so you've seen all these dogs, and everybody's got a dog in Alaska.
Right.
And I just thought I would like to get into that, especially because the cabin is like on 2 miles from the Steese Highway from where we could park, and then we'd have to walk across this bridge. And so I thought, well, maybe I can get a team of dogs and start working that trail. And didn't really work out because the trail was too narrow. But anyway, that's how I started doing it. And then I went to there was a get together out at it was in Cleellum, Washington, and they were doing a dog weight pull and a race. And I've never heard of a dog weight pull, and I saw that and I thought, that's what I need to do, because I had pretty good size. I had Malamutes. I only had one Husky, 2 Malamutes, and a huge dog. And so I thought, I was watching that, and I thought, my dogs they could probably do that. And sure enough, they did really good. So that's how I started it, and then I joined the military and got out of it. Got back into it when I was back at home, like when I was at Fort Lewis or something, I could do that, but not when I'm deployed. You can't take your animals overseas.
Unfortunately.
Right. But I spent a lot of time overseas too, so I kind of got out of that, and so I was pretty happy to get that early out retirement and start doing it again.
Okay. So you've been doing this for most of your life.
Yeah, well, since I was 18, 19, I think is when I started doing it, and then but I've had dogs my whole life, from when I was a kid. Never had a harness for them up until I was like about 18, I think, was when I first put a harness on. 18 or 19.
Okay. And is that when you were in Cleveland, Washington?
Cleellum, yeah.
Cleellum, I'm sorry.
That's okay.
Okay.
The John Wayne Trail, that's like kind of like here is all like, I don't know, I can't say that because that's not fair, because of Lewis and Clark, man, they're all over the place. I mean, they're everywhere. Even in Washington, I mean, they were everywhere. So, but John Wayne Trail is a really popular trail in Washington State. Really long trail.
So how did you go from a Husky and Malamutes to pit bulls?
This is the first pit bull I've ever owned.
Oh, okay.
And I wanted to get a pit bull get a dog that was in a lighter class, because Scout, I mean, he's in the 80-pound, she's in the 60-pound, and I just I don't want to have dogs in the same class, because then you're working really hard. And plus, I organize the pull, so I'm organizing plus trying to pull and judge and everything. So it's I wanted to get something smaller, and I wanted to get a pit bull so people could see how friendly they can be compared to what a lot of people think they are. They got a bad rip, but Tank's in his own class, and now Grunt's probably going to be in Scout's class, but Scout's going to be, he's retired. He's 12 years old.
Oh, really?
Yeah, I know he doesn't look like it, but
no.
but I might pull him one more year. He still can pull it one more year, but I might not too. It just depends on how he's feeling and everything.
For sure.
What factors go into choosing when to pull?
You mean what breed to pull? You mean?
Or like what's the reason for like having Scout pull one more year?
Oh,
what factors go into that?
It's what it is like he's earned medal every year that he's pulled, and the internet you get points in your weight class. So there's snow and wheel pull. So there's 2 different pulls, and he's got the gold medal in both every year except his very first year. On wheels he didn't, but he got the gold on snow that year. but I only pulled him 3 pulls, but there's pulls that I put on now that I wasn't organizing pulls in. So when you get all these points, you get these awards that are recognized, through the International Weight Pull Association and the UKC and the AKC. And so when you have those awards and you get championships at the international championships, just not the regional medals, but the championship ones, you list those in in their pedigree. And you could say that my dog has earned, a gold medal, and my Scout, he holds the world record now for the most weight ever pulled on snow for 80-pound dog at 2,141 pounds in the snow. And he weighed 76 pounds when he did that. So, and he broke a 12 or a 15-year record, and he blew it out of the water. It wasn't even close.
And how much did he pull?
2141. No, 2161. Yeah, 2161.
And he was 76 pounds.
Yeah.
Crazy.
2,161. Yep. He did that in. When was that? That was in Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Nice.
Yeah. But all the dogs are different. Like the good thing about where, like you have those different classes. So because there's little tiny dogs, I'm not gonna they got a 10-pound class, and there's usually like maybe 1 or 2 dogs in it. But then then there's your 20, and then your 40, 60, 80, 125, and then the 151 and unlimited tank. It's just I don't know. I really enjoy doing it because, like I said, it keeps me in shape, and it keeps the dogs in shape, and it keeps you off of the couch and just sitting around doing nothing, And but they get to earn their awards, and so you can ask more money for your puppies is basically what I'm saying. That's the final thing. That's what a lot of people do the polling for, so they can get their degrees, so they can list them in their their pedigree.
Do you have any, so kind of pivoting back a little, do you have any specific memories from the Army that you'd like to share? It's okay if you don't.
Just getting, I think the biggest thing, well, being promoted, of course, is always nice, because not just mean more money, but then you're doing the right thing. And just being in charge of, the 32 soldiers that I had was, I love doing that. I was really lucky. I had really good soldiers enlisted, the NCOs and stuff. I had really good soldiers, and all the way down to the PFCs or whatever. Not saying they're all great, but 32 is pretty good. To get 20 that are really, really good. So we'd team up on that combat marksmanship. So I got to pick a guy pretty much every year to go compete with.
Oh, nice.
And it just depends on who shot the best, and so that's why I know I was good, because I was the best in the state in the competition, and then was best in the course of my platoon.
Okay.
And every platoon would first have an option to go to compete, and then whichever one won in the company would go to the battalion. Whoever won that would go to brigade, and at brigade level you could send 2 teams, and then so you had all the divisions, and then you got the brigades, and then we're talking it's everybody. It's special forces, it's the Navy SEALs, but they don't show up because they don't want to be embarrassed. Not that they're not better than us in everything else, or most everything, but it's just that's why I think they don't show. But the Rangers had the Rangers come. It's Army, Navy, Air Force, Marines, and the Coast Guard.
Okay.
So it's all combat, everybody.
And how did you rank in those?
The best I got in the M16 is I got 10th place, and it was 900 and some soldiers.
Oh wow, that's pretty good.
Yeah. And we got a few first place trophies in the, and that's individual, the individual thing. Like I said, I wasn't a very good pistol shot, but and there's snipers that's what they do, and that was just one of the weapons that they put in. You have to get the training to be a sniper to be able to shoot the weapon, but I only did it. I went to Alaska, and that was the only time I shot the M21 until I came to combat. So these other guys do it every day. Yeah. So it's not, it's pretty tough to compete with. But it's cool getting the new guys every year going out and competing and winning. Representing our brigade. And winning first place in the whole competition. Everybody. That's pretty cool stuff when you're shooting the M60 and all 5 of the weapons when you're out there doing that. And you get to bring, even a third or a fourth place is good. And we got every different step, somebody's going to get a trophy, first through third. And that's what we got. We got a lot of first through third trophies.
Okay.
So that was really good, especially out of the 3 years that I did it.
And I'm sorry, where did you get a lot of the first through third trophies?
They were for the team combat, so that it's you and your sniper partner, your buddy, your spotter, however you want to put it. And it's all 5 of those weapons that I was telling you about, that you shoot all 5, and it's physical fitness. You got to carry your M60, your M16, and all your ammunition, everything. So you'll run 2 miles with all your gear on, and then you'd have to stop and set it up, and you're sweating. It's hotter than heck, and it's hard enough just to see. And so you're shooting targets, and then you're switching and shooting targets, and you only have so much time to compete it. And if you don't get it done in time, they blow the horn, and it's all over. So, and they do the cool stuff was the blindfold. You go out with your traversing and elevating mechanisms, and what that is on an M60. And so what you do is you go out and you set up your, well, we call it poop, I'm sorry, but that's the word we use. So what it is, it's you set it all up, and then you write down your poop log about like how far out, what your T&E was set to.
Okay.
And then you got to tear it back down, and somebody else come in, and then you go in, and they put a sheet that you can't see out of, and make a slice in it just for your barrel to stick out. And then you got to sit there and, like I do the T&E, and then the shooter would be shooting, and we swap, and that's pretty difficult. I mean, for most people, that's really difficult. Because if you're off just by one click, or you put it in the dirt just a little bit further, especially when you're shooting at 1,200 meters, you're going to be like really low, or you're going to be really high, or
Right.
yeah. But that's pretty fun stuff.
Where did these competitions be? Where were these competitions held?
They're all over. Georgia. I went to Arkansas, Georgia, and Alaska.
Okay.
Yeah. North Little Rock, Arkansas, and Port Stewart, Georgia, and then that I never can remember the name of that one out in North Fairbanks, way out there. Something too easy to remember. That's why I can't remember it.
So you entered the service in 81 and you left in like 97?
Yep, exactly.
Okay.
Yep, July of 97.
And then any jobs you've had post-service?
Yeah, I actually got out, and I knew a buddy that was in my platoon. He owned some orchards in Washington, so I went out and helped him doing like mechanicking and working on the lines, the belt lines, the fruit are traveling through, conveyor belts and stuff, and just kind of fixed trucks and whatever, did that for a while. Then I got a job working at Mobile Fleet Service, and that's being a diesel mechanic for the big rigs, big trucks, Volvos and Peterbilts and all that. Did that for about a year and a half, and I decided it was too dirty. So then I got a job being a millman, working custom woodworking at Modern Millwork and Design. These were all in Yakima.
Okay.
That's when I lived there. So I did that Modern Millwork and Design for, it was like 4 years. Yeah, something like that. I don't remember exactly, but that was a good job, because then you just take an air hose and go off and you're clean. Unlike grease and stuff that you're stuck with bringing it in your house when you come home and everything. But yeah, I really enjoyed the millwork, and then I moved into Montana, and I bought. When I was in the military, my dad was living here the whole time. Well, not the whole time, but 90% of the time that I was in the military.
In Butte or in Montana?
In Montana. He was in Deer Lodge also. He lived in Deer Lodge, Anaconda, Silver Star, and in Butte. And so he had asked me, he was getting older and kind of not thinking so well anymore. And so he was asking me, what we should invest in, because he was thinking he wanted to get cars and stuff. And I'm like, no, I don't think so. I said, I think houses are the best way. So what we did is we started my last 7 years in the military. I'd be sending, as much as I could, pretty much. And so he went out and took all the money that we had saved and put together and bought 4 houses. This is one of them. Bought 4 houses in Bede, so I rent out 3. So
Nice.
that was my job basically. I get on that early out retirement, I get 50% instead of the 100. If I would have stayed another 3.5 years, I would have got 100% of my retirement. But like I already told you, I was retired.
Yeah.
So with the retirement and the rentals, that's on me to live, and I can still feed my dogs. So.
Yeah. So did you come back to Montana because of your dad then? Or?
I did, yeah. He died in he had a snowmobile accident.
Oh no.
But I don't know. I'm not too sure of the whole thing. I think he had a heart attack or something, because they said he died from a motorcycle accident from excessive speed. My dad got tickets on the freeway for going too slow.
Oh,
He
really?
does not speed. He can't. And so I think what happened is he had a heart attack, and he clutched the throttle on a snowmobile, and he just had bought this really nice snowmobile, and he T-boned into a tree.
Oh,
And I guess his buddies found him because he lives like way out. Every time he lives places, he's got all his dogs. So he's got to be like miles or at least a minimum of a half a mile away from anybody else. So he lives way out in the woods all the time. But, I guess his buddy didn't see him. He usually sees him, so he went up, checked on him, and found him out there. And he was alive, and so they came down, and the search and rescue and all that came out there. And he didn't want any medical help. He's this old tough bastard. And so we refused all medical help. We hiked it back up to his cabin. He died that night. Yeah. So I had to. That's the reason I came here, is to take care of all the, being the administrator for the, you got to go through all those finances and all that.
Oh, for the
pay all the
will.
bills and all. Yeah.
Yeah. And then you just stayed.
Well, I stayed because I was going to come up, and he was having problems anyway. I wanted to come up and help him run the houses because, they cost a lot to pay somebody to fix them. And most of the stuff you can do yourself. Everything's on YouTube or something. So, you can pretty much do anything as long as you don't need a contract or license.
Right.
Then you have to hire an electrician or somebody. But plumbing, all that stuff, you could do 90% of it yourself. But anyway, yeah, so figured I was going to come up and help him be like a property manager, help him out. But he died about 2 months before my plan was coming up.
So what year did you move to Montana then?
The second time was 2010.
Okay. Okay, I think that's all the questions I have. Do you have anything to add that maybe I missed?
No, I think you got everything.
Cool.
I think you did.
So do you want to show us what you do now?
Yeah,
Cool.
I'd love to. Yeah.
I'm excited about this part.
I really am too.
I don't push him. I have a really small tire that I work with him, but I use the lightest one for him,
Right.
which is a 38-pound tire. The big one's 52 pounds, and this is a 51 pounds. And when Tank pulls, he pulls all, like after warming him up, as long as all the dogs aren't going crazy, I just pull them back and forth between that guy's dogs out. And then I pile all the tires up together, and I put the 2 ones, one that Scout's on, the big truck rims, and this one right here. And that's a lot of work all the time. So, he's a baby. She's the smallest one. All right, some stuff.
And you said when we did the interview on the movie that your dogs really enjoy this, right?
They do. Now, baby, she's awesome. All the other guys are loving on it. Well, that was baby jump. All right, baby, come here. Come here. Come here. Over here. Come on. Come here, baby. Good girl. All right, that's it. Nope. Come here, drunk. Look you out there messing with her. Come here. Come here. Come on. Baby, wait, whoa. Stay.
That harness looks huge.
She's the one that did that first. Baby, come here. Baby, come here. in like he's gonna pull, and then like 20 seconds or 10 seconds later, then he puts an effort into it.
Oh, okay.
So, but that's a lot of time that goes off. Unlike Tank, man, I have to get out of his way. I have to jump out of the way and run damn near. So because if he touches you after you let him go, you're DQ'd. You can't touch the dog.
Right.
You can't touch any of the harness or anything. So
Right.
yeah, so it's like, okay. Well, let me get Scout out. We'll go nuts.
Oh, I love the little name.
Yeah.
Yep.
Is that from your time when you were a Cab Scout, or?
Yep.
Okay.
That's exactly what it is. That's the insignia for the Scouts. Okay.
I know.
All right, buddy. Wait. Right at 52 pounds.
Okay, that's fine.
Yes. Maybe we would check with him, but
Yeah. Well, he's pulling more than that.
Good boy. Get it. Yeah. Not working hard today.
That's fine. Oh,
Plus, I haven't done anything with him for a long time because he also hurt his leg.
oh no.
And he tore a tender name. You know, they got those big old register names. They're like, 15 thing. And it was something of the breed of what the mother and the father is, champion father of beauty of somebody. So I figured I was trying to keep close to something with a B for her because when I first got her, she was a weirdo. I mean, she would not walk. She would spread her legs out just flat to her chest on the ground. She wouldn't get up, or I had to pick her up and get her in the vehicle, and it took a week before she would actually come up to me and without being freaked out.
Yeah.
Now she doesn't leave my side. She loves me. And she's always with me, and she's pretty good with other people now too.
Was she abused or something?
But no, I think abused in a different way, not physically, but more of emotional and just left out in the back, in the yard or something like that. Because I've never seen a dog just lay out like that, and she's a walking muscle. When she does that, it's like trying to pick up 4 bowling balls that are moving around like a slinky, and it's like, so, I don't know. But that's why I named her Baby, also because she was going to be the smallest dog I've had, and when you look at Scout and Tank next to her, yeah. From the dogs, just like they do everything else. And the mom said, "Oh, he's just getting too big, and the kids are scared of him." I saw nothing like that, but she just wanted to get rid of the dog because she didn't realize